And don't want to fix it alone? Call RVFix to get virtual assistance from a certified technician today.
Hi, this is Kevin with RVFix. Today we're going to take a look at winterizing our Jayco 310RLTS. So to begin with, we have our water bay is where we're going to be doing the most of this at. So we come over here to the pass through our water bay. We're going to need probably about 3 gallons of antifreeze to get this all done. We want to make sure our tankless water heater's been turned off on the master switch out here so it's not turning on while we're running it through. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook up. It does come with a winterizing hose on here, which is kind of nice. We're going to be hooking up to our city water connection. But first we're going to pull this screen out of there. Alright, so we're going to pull that screen out of there and we're going to use that to kind of push on that check valve just to help that water pump out as it's sucking through there. Alright, so we're going to push that into there. And then we need to change this to Winterize right here on our Nautilus panel. So we're going to point that way. And just like that. Now our water pump's actually going to be sucking from right here. So we're going to go ahead and take our hose. You want to make sure you get that on there tight so it's not sucking air through there. Alright, we're going to pop that down into a gallon of antifreeze. So before we kick that on, I'm going to show you, we're going to take one of these filter casings off real quick. Now if we were actually getting ready to winterize that this unit has been used, there would be the filter casing in them, but so we're just going to throw that filter wrench on there and get that broken loose. And then these just unscrew off of there. Shut off valve to stop more water from coming down into these. Alright, so the way this is set up right now, like I said, we don't have the filter, so it has this plug in there. But what you would see when you pull that off, there'd be a cartridge filter. You'd pull it out, dump the water out of all 3 of these, then you'd put this plug back in there just like that, and then we're going to screw it back on. We just want to get it as tight as we can, hand tight real quick. And then we'll just use this filter wrench just to kind of snug it down just a little bit more. And we want to make sure we turn that valve back on. Hose all the way down into the bottom of our gallon. And then once we kick it on out here, we can do our outside spray port real quick. Water pump on, you can see now it's drinking our antifreeze from right there. And once that pressurizes up, I was just taking a look, making sure my filter casing's not leaking, that I got it on there tight enough. But we'll go ahead and kick this on. Spray that till we start getting the antifreeze coming out. Alright, once we got the antifreeze coming out of both sides, okay, then we're going to do our other spray port. That's going to be right down under here. So on this one, there is no faucets to turn her on and off. As soon as you're hooked into there, it's pressurized on the cold side. So we're just going to spray that until we got pink coming out of there. Okay, so once we got the outside showers, that first gallon just ran out. So I'm going to go put another gallon on there. Alright, then we're going to come to our kitchen faucet. So on this style, we have towards the left is going to do the vegetable washer, and then towards the right it's going to do the actual faucet. And the further you turn it, so all the way right there would be just hot water coming out of that side. And then we got antifreeze, so I'm going to turn it this way a little bit on the cold side. Then once we turn it towards the right is going to be our faucet right here. So all the way again, that's going to be hot. We got pink coming out of there. Then we go this way a little bit to the cold side. And we got nice and pink coming out of there. So we'll do this spray function on there real quick as well. There, this is going to be a cup washer. So we're just going to put a bottle over that real quick. We're going to spray that till we got the pink coming up out of there as well. And there we go, we got pink out of the hot. And pink out of the cold. Alright, we got pink coming out of there. And we will leave just that little bit of antifreeze sitting in the bowl just to help keep that ball seal in there lubricated while it's just stored for the winter time. And then coming to our shower faucet, we're going to want to do all the different sections on this once we got it through the hot and the cold. Alright, there's pink. Turn it over to the cold side. And that's pink, so we're going to go ahead and change the shower setting. And then we're going to go ahead and change it to that one. And there we go. We got pink coming through everything in here. Now this unit does have washing machine hookups in the bedroom. So we'll just show you real quick spraying some antifreeze into a jug. I'm going to grab an empty jug. Alright, so right in here is going to be where our washer water lines would be at. So we're still, even though we don't have a washing machine, we just want to make sure we have pink coming out of these. So we just stick a jug over top. Just open it up real quick. And we can see we got pink spraying out of there. And then we're going to do the same thing on this cold. We're just going to open it up real quick. So what we would need to do with our residential, after we've winterized all the other water lines, you just come, you'd put a cup in your water dispenser, you're going to start to fill it up. Now it's not going to look pink anymore because there is a filter in here that'll take the color out of the antifreeze. But a lot of times you can tell it's not going to look clear like water, and you can go ahead and smell it as well because the antifreeze is alcohol based. So a lot of times you can smell when it's the antifreeze coming out. But once you get to that point, this fridge would just need to sit on trying to make ice for at least a day or so, and it should push that antifreeze through that ice maker. You'll know if you get it because instead of getting solid ice, you're just going to get slush coming out of that ice maker. But yeah, you just let it run for a cycle like that till you have that slush, and then this guy will be nice and winterized. So once you have this all winterized, that filter that I was talking about in there, you'll want to leave that one in there until after it's been summarized, because you'll want to change it out, so you don't want to put a new one in here and then summarize, antifreeze goes through it again. So you leave that old one until after it's been re-summarized in the next season. Only other thing is we do have our low points outside, so I'll show you those real quick. Alright, so we're going to throw a bucket under there. And then to actually get to these low point drains on this one, so there is a panel, the screws are already out of it, but our low points are just those valves that you see on your red and blue water lines tucked right back behind this. And that's going to be the last thing. So once we have that panel out of the way, I'll just hop up in there and open those up real quick. So that'll be the last thing. We need to run the antifreeze through right there. Then just make sure you have your black and your gray tanks have been dumped for the winter, and then obviously your fresh tank drained out as well. It's always a good idea to check your seals, roof, and sides before storing it. If you come up with any questions, if you are winterizing one of these yourself, go ahead, give us a call or leave us a comment. We'll get back to you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. If this video didn't solve your problem, don't worry. We're here to help. Give us a call at 1-844-66-RVFix. We'll diagnose your issue quickly with a certified technician on a video call, get any parts and warranty processed, and if needed, we'll coordinate a service center or mobile technician to get you fixed. We'll handle it all so you can get back to camping.